have a Robert Dellar lecture. And so today is going to be the inaugural Robert Dellar lecture.
Woo!
So Denise has written a short introduction which I'm going to read to you now on her behalf. I'm going to tell you about the Mental Health Resistance Network, MHRE, for which Robert was a source of inspiration. In 2008, the Work Capability Assessment, WCA, was introduced by the new Labour government. It was designed by Amersham, an American insurance company known for denying income protection claims and intended to deny benefits to disabled people. Its introduction was accompanied by a media campaign of hatred towards us. People within the mental health community became terrified of destitution. After the formation of the Condemned government in 2010, things looked even bleaker. You won't need reminding that the Tories used the national debt incurred by the bailout of the banks as an excuse to dismantle and sell off everything the poor relied on.
Yeah.
A protest that autumn held in Hyde Park, which had been called for by Robert, prompted survivors to set up MHRN. Neoliberalism had created outrageous inequality, and we were at the bottom of the pile. But we knew a post-capitalist Britain wouldn't come in time to save us. We had to do something to stop the WCA. We obtained legal advice and took the DWP to court in a judicial review, which allows judges to review the lawfulness of a decision or action or a failure to act by a public body exercising a public function. We wanted the DWP to take account of medical evidence when assessing people on benefits. One good thing to come out of that case is that while it was going on, more people were awarded the higher rate of benefits, as the DWP wanted to impress the judges. The case dragged on for years, and by the time we'd won it, the Tories had a majority in Parliament and were able to simply ignore the court's judgment. It was now clear to us that this campaign was going to be a long haul, but MHRN was keen to fight on. We held protests and direct actions, lobbied politicians, spoke at conferences, ran monthly events and appeared in the press. We made many disability activist friends along the way and placed mental health issues right at the heart of the disability movement. Since 2010, things have moved on apace. Mental health services have been decimated. We've always been critical of these as they were based on a medical model of mental distress rather than a social model we wanted. But there was a feeling that at least some attempt was being made to alleviate our distress. Now mental health services are designed to force people off benefits and out of services with no attempt at all to alleviate distress. They're based on positive psychology that sees the problem of being with the individual's attitude and absolves society of any responsibility. The Tories claim that work can cure mental health problems. We know this is a lie. Short-term treatments are designed to coerce us into work, any work, regardless of whether we can cope or not. These treatments are always about our shortcomings. We must change the way we think and feel, or we somehow failed. This is how capitalism frames our distress. We are to blame. When we fail to conform, we're punished with sanctions, homelessness, hunger and suicide. Since low wages and insecurity have become the norm for workers, people who didn't have mental problems before are now going mad. And MHRN is needed now more than ever. One thing that this government has shown is that capitalism is at the heart of madness. So MHRN positions itself firmly within the anti-capitalist movement. Against all the odds, we've hit above our weight. Public approval for the witch hunt against us is turning into support for us, and the media vitriol has lessened. Many mental health professionals are now on our side and are campaigning to save their own professional ethics. MHRN is moving on to new grounds. We're exploring ideas, challenging the fetishisation of work and promoting a social model of mental distress that implicates society in the cause of madness, rather than seeing it as being due to a deficit in the individual. We oppose the individualism of capitalism and know that a society based on collective responsibility is best for us. Looking ahead to the long list of campaign tactics we have used, we plan to add the use of art, film and podcasts because the culture of Britain needs to change. Most of all, we will be taking part in radical and fearless discourse. Robert understood how society created madness. He was aware of the realities, injustices and absurdities of our world. He could laugh at them and put them right at the same time. We all know that he was appalled by what the government was doing to us. The Robert Dellar Lectures are a vehicle through which we can continue Robert's legacy of laughter, thoughtfulness, originality, compassion and above all discourse, where we can explore ideas about and solutions to the complexities of living in this world. Eventually, disabled people will be writing the history books about how we were persecuted, and if decency triumphs, the country will look back at this period in British history with shame. MHRN will play a role in writing the history of how people with mental distress were driven mad and driven to suicide by their own government. So that's from Denise McKenna. She's also asked me to mention that there's a list at the door, and so if you'd like to find out more about what MHRN are doing, then please put your name on the list.